massive, but I am actually aghast at this. It is absolutely massive. It is absolutely vast. It is absolutely massive. Well, with that as a backdrop, welcome to my latest video. Well, our latest video. As you can tell, me and Tony are not in England. We've come all the way to Germany. 1 hour flight from Stansted to the Valentin U-boat bunker at Dencourt. It is absolutely massive, and as we walk around it, I'll give you some stats. It was built between 1943 and 1945 and never completed. And it stands at, and I will quote this straight away, it is 426 metres long, which is 1,398 feet, is 97 metres wide, 318 feet, and between 22.5 and 27 metres high, which is between 74 and 89 feet high. The roof has a thickness of between 4.5 and 7 metres. You can't see it obviously here, but the whole facility is made out of 650,500 metric tons of reinforced concrete. Now we've yet to go inside. Believe it or not, we've actually just come here for the day. We caught a 6 o'clock flight out and we're catching a 6 o'clock flight home, and this is what we've come to see and make yet another video for my channel. It is absolutely massive. It's the largest U-boat facility in the whole of Germany, and I believe the second largest freestanding structure in Germany today. We'll go inside in a minute. It's, believe it or not, it's free. And we'll tell you a little bit more of the story of it. Hopefully we can actually see what's going on inside there. Now, the facility was actually a specialist facility. It was an assembly facility for U-boats. In fact, the Type 21. Which was apparently ahead of its time. Although it was fraught with problems, it was very, very advanced. In fact, there is one example left at Bremen-Farge, which is up the river. We won't be going there today, which was actually scuppered after the war and then brought back to the surface and then used for sea trials. And I believe it was retired about 1980. One of them was, anyway. The Brits, the Russians and the Americans all had an example each. Due to space restrictions, only being here for the day, I didn't bring my microphone, so I have to excuse the poor sound quality. Anyway, we're indoors. It is absolutely vast. I won't talk too much because there's tours in here, but I'll put the information down below in subtitles. There's a big film going on in there. All in German. Give you an idea, there's Tony there. That's how big the roof is up there. Great. place is huge. Apparently there were plans to blow it up in 1949. The earth tremor would have been so great it would have damaged all the buildings around it. So it's been left, and it did have a lot of post-war usage for storage, including use by the Kriegsmarine. Unfortunately there's a lot of trees in the way here. But this thing towers above everything. Now the holes you saw in the roof in there, there's some Allied bombing. I'll show you some more filming of it when it was being constructed. So the plan was to actually assemble all the pieces of the Type 21 and then put it to sea trials here. Of course the end of the war came. It was never put to use. The bunker itself now serves as a memorial to the hundreds, perhaps even a few thousand people that died here constructing it. Mainly slave labour, people like this gentleman here. I don't know if you can see in there. Let's try it around the other side, shall we? But I'm actually aghast at this. It is absolutely massive. As you can see, it remains of the concrete mixing plant. That's what it looked like during the war. What it looks like now. Let's see what's up here. Even though it's got a big thick roof on it. All this mud in here is post-war, but that would have been a chamber. That's where the concrete would have pulled through, I'd imagine. They've put the roof to good use though. It's covered in solar panels, or at least half of it is. And that's the concrete mixing plant we just come up, and this is the actual pen plan there. You can freeze frame this if you want. There's a plaque down here. It says from 1940 onwards it was only the millions of forced labourers who were keeping the German economy afloat. How about that? This lady here was a German Jew, and she wanted to be kept secret for obvious reasons throughout the war, and she managed to survive the war. The labour came from all over Europe. This guy is an Italian here, Elio Materassi, 2022 to 2011. Another survivor of the camp. This area here that you can see is a construction picture in 1943. They're having a roll call here, the workers, and I'm probably stood whereabouts, roughly where they are, or were. So as it says here, I hope you can hear me alright. It is a bit windy, and like I say, I haven't got my microphone. This is a sluice gate where once they completed their submersion tests and they were ready to go to sea, this is where they put out to sea from here. Gives you a feeling how big the U-boats were when they were completed. And they slid in at the other end down that dark bit there. They're going to come into this sluice chamber here and sail towards us here and out. And behind us, of course, it's all been blocked off. That would have took them straight to the river. We just walked through quite a nice part of Bremen. It's quite affluent around here. So what we're going to look for now is signs of battle and bomb damage. I don't think there's much fighting went on here, but it certainly was bombed a lot during the war. Owing to the fact it was never actually completed and carried out its task. Okay, there's a big side entrance here, partially bricked up. I'll just go in here. Certainly been some damage there, I don't know what happened there. Bit of unidentified concrete. If you've ever thought of coming here, I'd certainly highly recommend it. Like I say, we're doing it in a day. So we caught a plane over from Stansted, and a tram from the airport down into the city, and then a regional train up to here, or nearly to here, and then 20-minute walk from Bremen-Farge. And it's free to go in, like I said before. You can walk around the entire circumference of this building. And every few hundred yards or so, or nearer, you have these information boards. It tells you everything you need to know. So we're on the southern construction site. So we're stood about here, and this area in front was for all the construction, and all gone now, of course. There is something written on there, but that may have been post-war. Something that is forbidden. There is some minor damage up around the outside of this. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up. As you can see, it's starting to crumble. Signs of it all over the place. Coming off. I reckon about another 1,000 years it'll probably disappear. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but just above this ramp here, looks like a few bullet holes. A bit too fresh, but well, as usual, hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, please remember to like and subscribe, and make comments too if you liked it. And if you'd like to see more of these things, we'll certainly pop over again for a nice little day out. So thank you for everybody who has subscribed, and to my future subscribers, I welcome you. And if you want to make any comments, please do. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now.